Okay, we're almost done. I've decided I want to make one more map. This Jamestown sea level inundation map was for the whole island. I want to make another map that's just for a specific area on the island, the old uh, historic Jamestown settlement. So I'm going to create another map and call it Jamestown Settlement Ruins Inundation Map. Tags, same tags that we've been using. Doesn't need a summary. Okay, so for this one I'm going to add search for layers, and I'll go ahead and add I'm going to go in reverse order here. 3 foot, 2 foot, 1 foot. This way they stack right. Okay, and I'll go to details, and I'm also going to change the base map. I'm going to change this to imagery. The reason I'm making two maps is because if I use the same map in both tiles or both tabs in the story map, I'm going to have a problem with if I change the base map in one to imagery, it's going to want to change it in the other. So in order to keep them fixed to a specific base map, a unique one for each map, I have to have separate maps. So that's what this is. And I'm going to zoom in to Jamestown. There's the fort, and you can see there's our flood areas. I think that's about right. Maybe a little closer. That's too close. Okay, there we go. That's the best I can do. So now that I have that done, I'm going to save it. Then share it. Everyone. There's a new web address. And done. Okay. Double check to make sure I saved. Yep. And now that map is finished. So if I go back to my content area, I should see I have two maps now. So it's ready for a story map. Hit create. Down here below app, choose template, use a template, build a story map. And we're all going to use story map series simply because I can only make one video. And I'm going to call this one, this is not the name of a map, this is the name of your story. And the best title for that is Historic Jamestown at Risk Due to Sea Level Rise. And tags SLHS, JMU, GSS. Could put a summary in there if you want to, not necessary. It goes in the same folder. We're using tabbed. Hit this forward arrow. Okay, our first tab actually may not have a map. Your first tab of your story map could just be providing an intro to the story, helping build interest, helping people understand how critical sea level rise is to some of our coastal communities. and some of our most important historical sites. So if you wanted to, on your first tab, you could have links to videos, to maybe an historic map, or just photographs of the area, to build interest. But the next frame would be perhaps an overview map. So your first map that you display would be an overview map and a locational map, so people would really know where it is. Okay, so I'm going to type Jamestown Island sea level rise inundation map, and I have to select the map. So I choose, there's the Jamestown settlement map, and there's the Jamestown sea level rise map. This location setting right here is going to be important. It's misleading. It makes you think it's a point on the earth or something, but it's not. It's where the map appears in the frame, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. Okay, we're going to choose add legend and add it. Okay, so oops, it has the wrong base map on it. So I'm going to change that. Show you how I can do that. If I click edit, I can go here and edit the map on the fly inside of a story map. And I'm going to change the base map to the topographic and then save it. Close. So I fix that. And let's just see what we get here. Okay. This looks pretty good because it's zoomed to the right level. But most, you may notice it loads far away like this. Or you might have it load like this, but it's like covered up by the legend, and you don't want that. So you would have to reposition it. So I'm gonna pretend that I'm having to do that and move mine around a little bit, and then go to edit and choose custom configuration. This is what you'll have to do, and then save the location. Save, and that's going to fix this location on this map. The problem is that when you set the first tab, it assumes that you want this view to be the view on all the succeeding, all the tabs that will follow, and I'll show you how to fix that. Okay, so this is an important slide. You can put text in here. You could put a link to a video. You could highlight some text that links to a web page. Maybe there's a web page to the Jamestown Visitor Center, or the National Park has a website for Jamestown, which I'm sure they do, and you could link to it here. You want to make this so much more than just a map. You want to make sure that people understand the context of the threat. What's going to be impacted by the rising sea level? Okay, and so now let's add another tab, and this one I'm going to call Jamestown Settlement Ruins Inundation Map. So this implies it's going to be a zoomed in area. So I'm going to choose a different map, select a different one, and I'm going to choose the Jamestown Settlement Ruins map. Notice it's inheriting its view from the first map. This is that problem I was telling you about. When I apply this, you'll notice that it thrusts it back out like this. So I'm not zoomed in anymore. So what I have to do is go to settings, choose map options, and turn off this synchronize map locations button. And there, now it takes the view that I want. In this map, I did want to have the error photo underneath the imagery. So you'll notice in your first tab, you have one base map and one view, one zoomed out perspective, and then in the next one you have imagery and you're zoomed in close so you can see the features. All right. So in addition to adding text, you can also add photos. And I'm choose upload, browse. And this is for the island, for the settlement, so I'm going to add that one. And you can put a caption, Jamestown Settlement Ruins, inundation map. Include a maximize button so that if they click on the picture it becomes larger. Okay, and I'll do the same for the first map. I had a picture for that also. The whole island. Okay, so there you go. Two tabs, each with different text and imagery and explanation, uh, different perspectives, different base maps, and you can keep adding tabs as many as you need. If you wanted to, you could have a map for 1 foot of sea level rise, another tab for 2 feet, and another tab for 3 feet, and then you can do some interesting effects with that. If you click through it, it'll almost look like an animation. Be creative. Your goal in this project is not to follow a rubric that allows everybody to make exactly the same project or get exactly the same grade. You have a spatial problem. What will rising sea levels impact along these critical coastal areas where we have historic or important features such as the United States Naval Academy? What will be the impact? And your job is to communicate these threats in an understandable and impactful way, and in a spatial way. Using GIS to show the impacts is so much more powerful than a written report. Okay, thank you. That's it.